Thank you to the organizers for inviting me to present today. My name is Chris Murphy. I'm the head of Viral Vector Services North America for Thermo Fisher Scientific. I'm going to take a few minutes today to talk to you a bit about bringing these viral vector products to market, particularly as it relates to creating some seamless handoffs, building the capacity and capability to demonstrate and deliver on the promise of these life-changing medicines. And just as a reminder, I'm proud to work at Thermo Fisher Scientific, the world leader in serving science. And really our mission is to enable our customers to make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. We have, as of today, I think close to 80,000 employees, with $1 billion invested in R&D, and our revenues are generating over 25 billion per year. Importantly, we have 5,000 dedicated R&D scientists and engineers who are really developing materials, services, you name it, to deliver on the promise. And when you think about the breadth of Thermo Fisher, what's really cool is this unique value proposition we have to offer for pharma and biotech, whether it's on our equipment or instrumentation, reagents, materials, as well as our services. So I'll spend a few minutes today to talk a bit more about that. But the key is we're looking to partner to support our customers from discovery to cure. And we're really looking to do that in a way that is seamless and really does expedite the development of these medicines, whether it is a gene therapy medicine to treat rare disease or cancer, or even to develop vaccines like the COVID vaccines. And if you look at a kind of standard, I'm going to focus in a bit more on viral vector. And if you look at like a standard sort of workflow, and this is just sort of a generic workflow to make a viral vector, and there's different ways to make it, as many of you know in the audience today. And you look at the various steps along the journey, you can see where we can have an input or an imprint on that process. Again, whether it's through cold chain and biobanking services, whether it's through cell lines, reagents, whether it's through single-use materials. And I'll talk a bit more about GMP plasmids and what we have to offer there, chrome resins, fill finish capabilities, both for smaller scale gene therapy products, but also for larger scale viral vector products like vaccines. And really, this broad range of products and services can help enable our customers to deliver to really the number one thing, which is their patients in need. So we're really excited to be a part of this network of businesses that really can bring this to life. And within the services capabilities, this is our Pharma Services group, we again look at this sort of holistically. At the center, of course, are our patients we serve. But we need to recognize that there's many other steps in the process. And what we do is we try to focus expertise. So rather than the Viral Vector Services group having to become an expert at distribution or warehousing and things like that, we have functions and businesses within Thermo Fisher that actually do focus on that. And there's expertise, of course, in the development of drugs. There's flexible models, of course, to recognize, depending on how we can complement our innovators' capabilities, we can adjust and combine to meet the needs. And ultimately, again, the need is the patient. How do we ensure that our services can complement innovators and expedite the realization of the medicines they're developing and serve more and more patients? And when we think about that, we think about an ambition. And our ambition is to serve more than 2 million people around the world every day with the services and materials we provide through Thermo Fisher Scientific. So it's extremely energizing, and our colleagues are really, the sense of purpose is strong. They're very committed to this vision for the company. And within gene therapy and cell therapy, there's a number of areas where we have expertise. Again, it goes to, if I start with just viral vector, the capabilities we've established in North America, and I'll talk a minute about our joining the Hanagen group in Belgium and what that brings. But this idea that you have an expertise that's able to develop processes, develop analytics for these products, while at the same time manufacturing both the clinical and commercial materials is incredibly valuable. And of course, with the boom in gene therapy and the proof that's been out there with these validating this modality, for the treatment of rare disease cancer, and of course now vaccines, that becomes a very critical capability. In addition, we're now established GMP plasmid capabilities, which could serve both development of GMP plasmid products or plasmid products to treat people, but also to create that critical raw material that is used often in the manufacturing process for viral vectors. Cell therapy manufacturing, establishing that capability. We already have facilities that focus on that part of the process. And I've mentioned as well this concept of the logistics and the ability to transport these materials, which again is not a small task, particularly when you see what's going on with the COVID vaccine and stability in the lake. This cold chain logistic capability is incredibly important. Plus just the ability to scale these products up. And really, you'll see in a minute how we're also looking at how we innovate to create platforms and processes that can really get to the yields, get to the purity levels, and quickly get these medicines, these molecules that are showing such promise so quickly in clinical trials. How do we help get them to market faster and better? And if you look at the landscape, and I'll focus a bit on Europe here, but continued growth in this industry, right? I mean, we're seeing significant investments. The forecasts continue to be strong as far as the development of these medicines and the transformative nature they'll have for people in need. I mean, this is a step change in the treatment paradigm that is going to be realized in the coming years. So we expect more and more approvals to be happening over the coming years for sure. And importantly, in Europe, there's at least 25% of these therapies are being innovated in Europe, and we recognize that. And one of the things I'll talk about in a minute is why we felt that was really important to have a capacity and capability in Europe to serve customers in that region, but also to make sure that there's a crossover to look at this as a global network. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but also it's about making sure there's a recognition there's talent needed to deliver this, there's regulatory expertise. And of course, we're seeing that as customers look to launch products in different markets or regions, the value of having things based in the continent they're going to launch is super important. So you'll hear a bit more about that from me and what we're doing at Thermo Fisher Scientific for Viral Vector Services to assist our customers in getting there. And when you think about integrated services, there's a lot of inputs here. There's, as I mentioned, market access, there's supply chain. In addition, of course, as everyone knows who's all in this meeting today, materials have become a critical challenge for the global networks across the board, and the access to materials. And of course, we have capability within the Thermo Fisher network on single-use materials, reagents, medias, things like that we are able to build into our models and build into our production plans. And of course, then, as I mentioned already, how do we help our customers by acquiring the plasmid for them? How do we then make the materials? How do we test the materials? How do we release the materials? And of course, how do we help support them if it's a gene modified cell therapy by getting the viral vector to the plant where the cells will be processed? And of course, once the product is made, how do we help warehouse it, store it, and then as needed, distribute it? So integrated solutions with unmatched manufacturing capacity is our mantra. And if you look at now our global network, it's not insignificant. You can see all the sites for clinical supply. You can see now the addition in red of the actual viral vector services in Belgium, the Hanagen operation. You can see where we're building plasmid capability, both in Massachusetts as well as in Carlsbad, California. And of course, cell therapy is established now in New Jersey as well. And so some of the recent investments, of course, are the plasmid facility, which I'll talk about in a minute, and Hanagen, which is again in Europe, and Plainville. And I'll take a minute to share a bit more detail on those three elements in the coming slides. So to start with plasmids, so, we jumped into this in 2019, and really now it's coming to fruition this year. And that is a facility we're building in Carlsbad to generate GMP plasmids, both for products, but also, of course, to support the manufacture of viral vectors, typically AAV and lentiviruses. In addition, we have capacity in Watertown, Massachusetts, here right near our commercial hub for viral vector in North America. And again, our focus there is to recognizing that, we need to be able to produce a differentiating value and differentiating sort of quality, because as some of you are aware, there have been issues in the recent years where plasmid quality has had an impact or maybe slowed down the regulatory process for some innovators. So we recognize that this is a critical raw material in the manufacture of these products, and that we need to continue to make it in such a way that ensures the best quality. In Europe, you would have heard about our acquisition of the Hanagen business from Novacep, and that brought to us a great team in Belgium and great capacity, over 300 employees. They have capabilities that are very complementary to what we do in North America. They are working on the COVID vaccine there as well. So they're a significant supplier for COVID vaccine. And again, the experience, this is a 20-year business. So they bring a wealth of experience and expertise. And when you combine that capability and you complement with what we've established in North America, it really becomes exciting. And we can see that we can actually sort of mix and match across both Europe and in North America, depending on the regulatory needs, capacity needs, expertise needs. And already, a few months into this acquisition, we're already seeing the benefits of that, which is really exciting. And then in Massachusetts, North America, we are building, the world's largest viral vector manufacturing facility, because this will be dedicated to viral vector manufacturing. It's close to 300,000 square feet, or about 26,000 meters squared. It'll have on-site engineering labs to really do the large-scale sort of mixing and bioreactor studies to support what we see as the next phase of these products, which is really getting them better yields, better manufacturing processes, which will actually help reduce the cost of production, but also increase the ability to get these medicines to patients in need. We'll, of course, build into this facility the leverage of our network as far as what we call Pharma 4.0, digital technologies, electronic logbooks and batch records and things like that. And of course, what's really exciting too is it's strategically located, which our cluster of commercial manufacturing here in Massachusetts is extremely important, because we can share talent, share ideas, and actually mix and match with capacity as needed. And really, we're here to support both the clinical and the commercial. Of course, we have a clinical operation as well in Florida, but this is where we see a significant value being offered to the innovators of these important products. And really, the other thing we're looking at is developing what we call a turnkey workflow. So really looking to standardize on a platform approach to manufacturing, whether it's for lentivirus or for AAV. And what that will do and deliver, the promise that could deliver, is really how do we accelerate drug development through a robust CMC package with predictable yield, predictable purity, that can help customers bring these products to market much faster. And I think, again, we'd all agree, like, it's almost turned on its head a bit, where clinical development was usually the long thing and CMC had time to kind of be developed. It's kind of been flipped, because these medicines are so powerful, we have to catch up on CMC, and we see this reducing the time and cost to bring these products to market. And I'll just end on this slide. To me, we can talk about capacity, we can talk about acquisitions and the like, but really there's four key things that we always keep front and center when we think about our business. One is the customer. And, each of you who are innovators on this meeting, of course, you're bringing these incredibly important medicines to help people in need. And it's been so accentuated, of course, under COVID, with the rapid development and really validation of viral vectors as a modality, not just for rare disease and cancer, but now for public health. And it's remarkable the work innovators are doing. And we put that front and center, and our colleagues have a strong sense of purpose. And, we look for them as a differentiating factor. It's the X factor. And so we've got to have critical thinkers and problem solvers. We've got to continue to build our capabilities, and we have a lot of touches on these technologies, so we're able to really expand on those. and of course expand our offerings to help our customers have a seamless integration of all the steps in the process. And of course, we talked about capacity. So to us, these are the key ingredients to delivering on the promise of these transformative medicines. I want to thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to taking any questions you may have. Thank you.